Were there other questions submitted?
The questions that I asked on the schedule are just something to consider when you're doing the next report.
Yeah,
On
we
page
don't.
59, you don't have to go through those.
Okay,
It's just something to think
for
about.
the contract tool?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
there was a question submitted on 50, on the contract tool on 59, about the POTS lines.
Yes, we are at 7 total POTS lines after cleaning up everything. They're approximately $43 a line on that, so we're doing really well with keeping that at a minimal. And then there was also a question submitted on Arrigo. Arrigo does the annual startup for all the rooftop units for the fall and into the spring.
The cooling and the
Heating and
air
cooling.
conditioning.
We have approximately 30 rooftop units, and that's what the $16,000 annual contract is with the Rego. We have not bid this out. It's not over the bidding threshold of $25,000. The reason that we kind of keep a Rego is they've been in-house here working with these units since the renovation on it. They're very familiar with it. They know what is going on, and then we also have them do the repairs that come up as needed. The repairs run anywhere from $60,000 to $70,000 to cover all those different rooftop units or anything that happens. So that's why we keep a Rego on.
So the one thing that I talked about today, though, is we have to pay prevailing wage rate. So we just asked them to keep, we asked for like every other year for an hourly rate that we're being billed, and we make sure it's to the prevailing wage rate, or within that prevailing wage rate, so that there's no gouging. But what's kind of unique about us is that we do have 30 rooftop units, where most schools have one large chiller and one large boiler, where we still have a lot of individual rooftop units. So Joel said basically what they do is they come out before the cooling season and gauge each one, tune up each one, and then they do the same thing before the heating season. So with the cold blast over this weekend, we had a drop in gas pressure, so our burners were only turned on when we're getting like 3 pounds per pressure. So we had to like lower all temp thermostats to 50 degrees this morning and do like a hard start. So the building was quite cold for most of the day, but Rego's been here and they do a nice job in helping service a lot of that stuff.
Well, it's Joel's trust him, right?
He treats it like his own house. So
Like Joel says, you only get as good as the guy that comes out and services it.
Well, very true.
So he's very impressed with when they do come out. They're very reliable and get out in a
Are
timely
they
fashion.
send the same guy all the time, or is it?
It's usually about two guys that come out that know the system, and then they work very closely with Joel's lead man, Burham, to kind of work together, troubleshoot these units.
Walsh and Associates under residency, we have an hourly rate. Historically, it's around $10,000 a year, but those are residency investigators, depending on how many cases and home inspections we have to do or investigate.
Just curious
So
what that was.
historically, it's around $10,000 a year. Scott, were there any other questions submitted?
No, but
State financial